crazy show. Ryan Campbell, soup to nuts. Soup to nuts. I wasn't raised right. I was raised by a pack of wild hyenas. And they weren't fed well. They had bad nutrition. There was bad nutrition amongst my childhood. That's what happened. So, thanks for coming back and visiting with your big boy in charge. Today, I am going to be working on the side skirts on the 350Z twin turbo project vehicle. I got the VICREZ side skirts, and they're not perfect, but they're kind of what I'm wrong with, at least for now, for the foreseeable future. Down the road I might change them, but because I'm not a big fan of VICREZ at this point. They're not the greatest. But anyway, so I already, previous videos a while ago, I already kind of fitted them up a little bit, but I have to do a little bit. I had to get an extra tool to be able to keep going, so I have the extra tool now. So that's what I'm going to be working on during the course of this video. You are tuned in to Ryan Campbell, Soup to Nuts. Oh, you're still here. Thank you. Appreciate it very much, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. Before we get rolling, before I get to showing you and getting the work done, I would really appreciate it, please, if you would subscribe down here, give me a like, comment, and share the video, and tell a friend to tell a friend that you found a crazy idiot, you found a stupid idiot that, you know, probably really shouldn't be making videos, and, you know, he really should be like contained into a cage somewhere in a dark pit. Like I said, I was raised by some malnutritioned hyenas. What do you expect to come as a result of that? Huh? So, I'm going to be working on these side skirts, as I previously mentioned. I have one side skirt up on the bench here. The other one I still have to make a little bit of a cut because they're a little bit too long. So I have to cut it and kind of cut it. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. But I have to cut it so that way I can make it a little bit shorter and then use a plastic welder to kind of re-weld the corner back together to kind of shorten it up. It's not a lot, just a little bit, just so that way I can mount it tight and it'll look pretty good and all that type of crap. And there's a couple little tiny, really small cracks that I also have to, I don't have to, but I want to plastic weld so that way they don't crack later after paint and everything. So I got the one on the bench that already has the cut in it, that I'll show you right now. Then after that, we'll get to doing the other one, which is the passenger side. I already fitted up a little bit, but I didn't do the cut, so I have to tape it back up to get it back up in place, and then, you know, mark it, and then, you know, cut it, you know, to shorten it, and then plastic weld all of it. So first I'll show you the one on the bench, and I'll just keep repeating myself over and over and over and over and over. And then I'll, after that, I'll weld both of them up, and I also have to weld the spot on the front bumper. I'll show you the front bumper as well. I already know all the fitting of that and whatnot, so I don't have to worry about fitting it. I just have to weld a little tiny, there's a little small crack that it came with. It's basically underneath the bumper. You can't even see it or anything, but it's off. It's not painted yet. I'm doing all this crap anyway. Now's the time to do it. He is the old girl in all of her glory. So basically it sits like this on the car. I can't, it kind of tips over when it's sitting on the bench, but this is the spot I was telling you about. I made a little cut because it was a little bit too long, so I cut a little bit out, maybe like 1/8 of an inch or so. So I cut a little bit of it out. I tried to put it back together using a different method, but it didn't work, so I bought an expensive plastic welder that I'm hoping does the trick. So basically I just have to, see how there's kind of a gap here. I basically just have to close it up, and later on obviously I'll fill a little bit, I'll sand it, make it nice and smooth and all that crap before paint, but I just want to get it, you know, nice and secure and proper. And down here, this tiny hole, I want to fill that You can see there's a tiny crack right here. I want to fix that as well. And then right here, you can see a little bit. There's a little bit of a crack here. It's not too bad, but you know, I want to take care of it so it doesn't have any problems later. And I think that was everything that I found for this. This is the driver's side. So that's the front of the car. That's like the back of the car. That will be like right there is like where the rag is the back wheel, and front wheel will be like right here. I'm gonna get the other side skirt. You can see here, sitting on the ground right there. We can get that girl taped up and put in position, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, how it's a little bit too long, and then I'll do the cut, and then I'll bring both of them to the bench and get out my new tool. I haven't used it yet, so I don't even know if this is gonna work. I'm hoping it does. It looks like it should. It wasn't cheap, so I mean, not that every single thing expensive always works, but you know, there's a higher percentage of expensive things working over cheap things working. Am I right or am I right? I'm right, damn it. I don't need to wait. I don't need to wait for an answer for that one. I know I'm right. Okie dokie. So I got it taped up. The side skirt here. It says I don't have any screws underneath mounting. I don't have any of the hardware anywhere. It's just a few pieces of tape I have. And I just have those few pieces of tape holding, so it's not absolutely perfect where it's going to sit, but it kind of tells me where the length is going to be. So let's see if we can get you a good angle. It's tight here in this garage. So there you can see the side skirt is sticking past the quarter panel, the fender, the rear quarter. So it's maybe about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to make us a little slit right here, and then weld her back together. All right. Got the cut done on the passenger side skirt. You could tell it's the passenger side skirt by the way it is. So here is the cut I did here. Turned out pretty good. I did it kind of on the car. I pulled it off the car a little bit and did it so that way I could put it right back on. I test fit, and it looks like it should do the trick pretty well. So now it is time to start doing this welding. So I got this Polyvance Mini Weld Model 7 airless plastic welder. Sounds like some fancy schmancy to me. Alright, so this is the actual welder. It's basically kind of a heat gun and a heat iron, whatever the hell you want to call it. What do they call it? Ceramic core heating element. So you got this guy. It has a hole in the back that kind of goes through to the bottom. I know the focus is screwed up, but you can see the hole. That's to feed. Depending on the plastic, it's different types of plastic. You use different rods, but it's basically like little tiny plastic rods. This is what I'm going to be using is for polyurethane. It's for all sorts of different plastics. This is what it comes with. So it has this heat control, or you know, voltage control or wattage control. I don't know what that. It controls something, damn it. But basically, you put it to the different points. I guess for different points for different points. you put it to a different setting for the different type of plastic, depending on what type of plastic it is labeled out here. So that's what that's for. It comes with this is for that. It comes with the nice manual that kind of goes over stuff, and they do have some pretty good videos you could check out online as well. It comes with a wire brush. It comes with a different type of tip, just for melting plastic. That's not for the welding. It comes with a nice little twisty tie. That was actually around the cord on the iron. It comes with this little resting piece of metal, so that way when it's hot, you can just rest on here, it won't burn or melt anything. It also has these fiber reinforced universal plastic welding rods, flat sticks, 30 feet apparently. And it also has little mesh. You can use the mesh to kind of reinforce, you kind of melt into the plastic. I'm going to give that a shot and see how that goes. I'm going to put a little bit of mesh in there as well, in the behind, at least for the parts I have to repair where I did the cuts. I'm going to put behind it, not in front. So hopefully that'll keep it, reinforced. So I got the die grinder set up. So basically, you kind of have to, at least in the back, if it was like flat, you would make a V groove on each side. So into the plastic, you just kind of make a V groove, so that you'll have a groove to kind of sit and melt into, and then it'll kind of, you fill the groove out. So then later on, after everything's dry or whatever, you just sand it to smooth it out. But so I'm gonna kind of clean it up a little bit with the die grinder, maybe put a little bit of groove in the back. I can't do too much because of the way this is, and it's in a corner as well. I am going to clean up the back of this a little bit, and those little tiny cracks that showed you I'm going to clean up as well. So I'll time-lapse all that crap, and then get to some welding. Plastic welding that it is! I've never done this before, so I gave it a shot with some different cheap-ass kit, and it didn't really work. It was different material, different stuff, different gun. Maybe it didn't get hot enough. It was taking forever to melt it, and I think it was just cheap garbage. Cheap tool I was working with. So I'm gonna try. Hopefully this will do what I need to get done. But this is my first time trying it, so I'm not an expert. I did look at a few of the videos from Polyvance, and they are actually pretty decent videos. So if you want to learn like very detailed from an expert, from somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, check out Polyvance videos. But don't stray too far, because they're not entertaining. This is entertainment. They're more educational folk. It's like listen to a boring professor or listen to a stand-up or something. I'm not a stand-up. I'm not that level of funny. I'm actually a sad human being. What are you watching? What do you even watch? Where have you come? At what point in your life did you get to the point where you made a conscious decision to watch this nonsense? Just add nonsense. What's going on in your life that you're watching this? I question myself all the goddamn time. What the hell I'm doing? No clue. I'm just stumbling through life like tumbleweed in a desert. Just whatever way I get pushed, that's what happens. So I'm gonna time lapse doing this work stuff, and hopefully it'll go well. But I'll let you know how this goes later on. Okay? Hey! Like and subscribe, damn it! Hey! Hit the bell! Hit the bell so you get the notifications! Time lapse. Just spent the last hour melting plastic and huffing the fumes. I have brain damage now. I'm sure of it. There's definitely legitimate, verifiable brain damage that has occurred during that last time lapse that you saw. Few cells freaking checked out, hit the goddamn road. They're 6 feet under. I should have wore, in all honesty, I should have wore a mask. I should have wore like at least a dust mask or something, because that was dumb. That was pretty dumb. I mean, the whole garage is all smoked up and that was dumb on my part. I mean, I know I do some dumb things here, but that was admittedly not too wise. But I think we might be rocking and rolling here, though. I'll give you a little close-up, and then I'll show you what we're doing next. Alright, so this is the driver's side. This is driver's side. This is obviously the exposed exterior part when it's going to get painted. So I filled in here. There's a little tiny crack here I did. Obviously this is where the cut was. And yeah, that's it on this one. So I'll show you the back real quick. So the back, so I did both sides. As you can tell, I put the screen in there. I don't think it's perfect, but I think I did a pretty good job from what I'm working with. This is the passenger side. There's a crack here that I grinded out and filled out, obviously. You can see I did the back as well. And then moving on down to the other end. Whoa, 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 Nelly! Hold your dolphins, Nelly! Alright, so obviously there's 2 cracks in there. There's one like right here, and then one right there. And obviously the end where I cut with the angle grinder. And let me show you the back. So this back was a little bit hard to get to, and it's even hard to get on camera, but I did get some on there. And obviously got this back. And then, so we have here, I got the metal in here. I think I did a slightly better job with the mesh on this one. On this one, what I did was I actually, before I put the mesh in, I did just like a quick line. I did a line, folks. You probably do think I do lines, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? But I put I just put a line in the crack, and then I put the mesh in there, and then I went to fill out the rest. I think it might be a little bit better. But overall quality of this VICREZ crap, don't get it. It's garbage. The KBD rear bumper that I got is much better. So that's the 2 side skirts. So I just have to sand them. So I just have to sand them now, but I think I'm going to use a machine to do it, not by hand, because it does have some really, really high points from the glue stuff, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm sniffing. So it has some high points, so I'm going to use the sander. It'll be a little bit physically easier to really knock it down. But I'm going to do that with all like the paint prep type of crap, and I'm going to use some glazing putty here and there. I've noticed a few pinholes in the plastic here and there. So it does need a little bit of refining. So that's going to be later on. I'm not doing all the paint prep stuff and all that whatnot right now. I just wanted to get everything fit up and squared away as far as fittings. That way I don't have to have the car actually in the garage for it, because I'm probably going to attempt, decent chances I'm going to attempt to paint this crap myself. I don't know how that's going to go at all. Who knows? Who knows? God doesn't even know on this one. And He knows everything. So that way when I do attempt, if things start going really south on me, honestly, I might just take it somewhere and just to a body shop, drop it off, and just have them paint it. There's decent chances I might do that anyway, but we'll see. I kind of want to learn paint a little bit better, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, for the sake of this video, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to cut out, sorry for the garage door here, but I'm going to cut out for the lower brake light, tail light, whatever light you want to call that. I'm going to cut out and mount that. I got it. Where do I have it? Right here. It is this guy. So it's LED. Obviously, kind of goes right in there. So I just got to cut out for it. I'm going to mark it out, cut it out. And then, I wonder if it came with mounting hard. I don't know if it has mounting. I don't know how it's going to. I might have to figure out the mounting. I might have to make. I don't know how this is going to work. I have to figure that out as I'm kind of going. I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me, looking at it, because obviously, this has to be flush up against the bumper. So I have to cut out at least for like this square. I'm sorry I'm doing this with one hand, but I have to cut out for at least for this square. Obviously I have, I'll have to make it super, super tight because I have a little bit of play. But I have to cut out basically the inner square. I have to cut out for this square, not the larger square, to put it in. And so obviously then it has to slide in and it sits flush. From what I remember, there isn't really much behind it as far as like for these to like, I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe, I don't know, I have to get it on honestly, and I have to cut it out and get it in, and then I can figure it out. I'll figure it out later. But that's coming up next in this video. I'm going to cut out for it. I'm not going to do the wiring in this video. Obviously it needs wiring. I'm going to do the wiring after I have the bumper all the way off. I also have to wire in, there's lights that go in here, a little LED strip that goes in here for the turn signals. So that has to go, that has to get wired as well to the corner light harness, and then that has to get wired to the brake light, and I think also the reverse light as well, and the parking lights, I suppose, too. So that has to, you know, I'll do the wiring when this is out of the way. It's nice, easy access. So I'll do that later on in another video. But I'm gonna mount that next. All right, so I got it marked out here. That top line is a mistake, so it's the inner square, or it's not technically a square because it kind of tapers a little bit. It's a little bit more narrow at the bottom than at the top. Ignore that center. That center mark was just so I have it lined up left and right center. So basically, I'm just gonna cut. I'm gonna round the corners a little bit if I can. But I, you know, basically have it marked out here. I'll do the cut, and then I'll be test fitting this guy. Hopefully it goes okay. I'm going to be using the Dremel here. Hopefully that goes okay. If not, I'll break out the old angle grinder. I'll angle grind it. So let's do a time lapse, okay? Okie dokie, alrighty. Got the old hole ripped out. So I used the Dremel and broke the blade off, and then I used the die grinder. There it is on camera. I used the die grinder there to clean it up and round out the hole. Because, you know, with the Dremel, I couldn't, you know, it makes square cuts. I couldn't really do the corners well, so I got in there with the angle grinder with a round grind down bit, for lack of a better term. And rounded out the corners, and just did a little, had to take off a little bit extra to get this to fit in good. But it fits in good now. Hey? Obviously, you know, it doesn't hold tight, you know, because it's not secured, but it fits in good. Here, I'll go give you a further away shot. Obviously, it's not on or anything, but you see kind of what it looks like. There she is. So later on, obviously, the edges and you know, this stuff will all get cleaned up when I sand, you know, the bumper to get it prepped for paint and all that. So this will all be cleaned up. It's nothing, you know, it's just little tiny nicks and stuff. So that'll get cleaned up. And I mean, there's overlap like ½ inch around anyway, so it'll get covered anyway. But you know, better make things cleaner than not cleaner. So that's where that stands. That's where the old girl stands. I think I threw my shoulder out doing that nonsense. I'm just kidding. I'm just being me. I hope you like me. I stay up late at night thinking about that. To be honest, it really weighs on me whether or not the internet likes me, because my whole self-esteem is riding on it. And if people don't like me on the internet, I might do something very bad to myself, because I just want to be liked, you know. People are so mean sometimes, and it just blows my mind. You don't like me? Go f*** yourself. That's what I feel about that. But in all seriousness, I mean, nothing at all whatsoever on this entire channel is serious ever. I mean, nothing. Nothing you've seen on any of his videos is, there's no seriousness going on here. Like, none. Maybe a smidgen, maybe like 2 or 3% or so, but for the most part, there's nothing serious. No. If you're questioning, hey, is he being serious or not? Always go with he's not. That's just the go-to default response, is that this stupid idiot is never being serious. Just roll with that, and you'll be safe. You'll be safe from the chupacabra coming and hunting you down. Alright, so we got some things done. Got some things, well, semi-complete. They're not painted or anything, but Got the side skirts fitted. I got the rear light thingamajig. The little brake light slash parking light slash whatever color you want to call it. Got that put in. I mean, cut out. The hole just cut out. It's not put on. I still have to do all the wiring and all that nonsense. But I got the whole cut out so that way I can paint the bumper in the meantime. So that's where that's to. So I'm pretty much done for for having the car in the garage. I'm done with the body stuff. Basically the next step of the body stuff I have to do with the car out of the garage. So I have room. I'm gonna be sanding and starting to painting and priming and this and that. So I need room in the garage to work with, and I don't want to get the car all oversprayed or anything crazy. So, but I needed the car in the garage to fit everything up. So next thing coming up. Update, I'm still waiting on the intercooler piping to come in. Still waiting on that to get finished, welded up and all that. So that's kind of holding up the front end a little bit. I can't finish putting the front end fully together yet until I get the piping in place and all that taken care of. I might get the piping powder coated though as well. So, but the powder coat guy has a fairly decent turnaround time, maybe like a few days. I mean, I don't know. I haven't called him with this, pandemic bullshit. But he normally has a pretty decent turnaround time. He normally doesn't take too long with this stuff. So that's a positive, hopefully. Yeah, I probably am going to get a powder coated though. But, so next coming up, I'm going to try to, these brackets here that I made earlier on the channel. These guys I made for the boost controller and also for relays. I'm going to try to wrap them in carbon fiber and take a stab at it. I've never done it before, but I've watched a ton of videos. And you know what happens when you watch a ton of videos? You become a damn expert! So I'm now a carbon fiber expert. I'm just kidding. I'm probably going to botch the hell out of it. I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, if it doesn't work and I fail miserably, I'll take that to get powder coated as well. I mean, that'll look good too. Why not? So, but next up, you're going to see me either succeed or fail miserably at wrapping some carbon fiber crap around that. I'm giving it a shot, hopefully. I am waiting for modeling clay to fill in the holes, because I'm basically going to wrap the carbon fiber around it. Do all the gel coat and all that type of stuff, and the harden. I'm not thinking straight right now, but basically I wrap the part with it. So I'm gonna fill the holes with modeling clay, and then later on I'll re-drill them back out once the carbon fiber is cured and all that. So I ordered the modeling clay. I'm trying to avoid going to stores as much as possible. I still have to go get food, this, that, and the other, that type of stuff. But I'm trying to avoid extra errands. So I did order online, and delivery with everything is taking forever now. So I'm waiting on that. Hopefully the next day or two will be here. But in the meantime, I do actually have to take the front end back off. There is a bolt underneath that was snapped off, so I'm going to take it off, get that bolt out, because I need that bolt to mount one of the parts of the intercooler, and I'm also going to clean the hell out of it. So that way it's pretty much, and then I'll put it back on and put on as much stuff as I can without the intercooler piping. So I'll get that rolling. That's probably honestly the next thing. The carbon fiber thing, probably, unless it gets here tomorrow, it's probably I'm going to put it off and do it after the front end. But I kind of want to jump on that because that's holding up the wiring. Once I get that taken care of and squared away, then I can finish all the wiring. And then that's one of the bulkiest things I have left to do. Also coming up shortly as well, I got the Brembo brakes powder coated already. So I have them. I'm going to be putting them on soon too. So that's going to be fitted in there as well. So there's some decent stuff coming up for you. So please like and subscribe down here. Leave me a comment, please. I would really appreciate it. I'd very much really appreciate it if you shared this on your socials. That would mean the world to me. I'll love you forever. If you need some love, I'll give you a hug already. So make sure you do that. I would appreciate it. And make sure you hit the bell as well, so you know when this fella drops a new video for you. And I'm getting a new haircut soon. I mean, not a new haircut. I'm getting a haircut. I'm hoping soon. I mean, who the hell knows with this shutdown bolt crap going on. What's going to happen with that? But I need a haircut is what I'm trying to say. And there's a stupid bug flying around here. Get out of here, bug. But, you know, that's why I'm looking not quite as sharp on camera. Sorry. Can't do nothing about it outside of giving myself a bushed up ass haircut. And if I get seriously desperate, that might happen. But I really don't want to do that. I might start wearing a baseball cap maybe. Maybe that'll help. That'll help Hanson me up. Enough of my ranting. So until I drop a new video, in the meantime, don't forget to drive fast, take chances!